welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about regressing when you feel like you cannot relax. But before we get into it, I'm going to give you my usual disclaimers and introduce to you Emma. She is one of the new mice dolls from Cuddle & Kind. You've probably seen this brand a lot in my content. Here is the bunny that I carry around like all the time. But they're a really cool brand. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just think it's cool and like in the name of doing some little activism where you also get like the cutest handmade stuffed animal. For every one of these dolls that you get, depending on which size you get, like this one for example, one doll equals 10 meals, and they're all handmade. I'll put like more information on the screen, but it's really cool and like you're supporting like an artist and like putting your money to good use. They are expensive, but they donate a lot of meals and food to people in need. So yeah, she's gonna be our little buddy for this video. And before we go any further too, I also want to get into some disclaimers. Obviously, if you are not familiar with age regression and you're wondering what that is, I have multiple videos about what age regression is, as well as my experience and journey with age regression and how it helps my trauma, all linked in the description. And also, when I talk about age regression in this context, I'm talking about therapeutic age regression, not symptomatic involuntary regression. If you really struggle with that and it feels out of your control, please seek the guidance of a mental health clinician. On that same note, I am not a mental health clinician, although I am in school right now training to become a certified hypnotherapist. I'm not a mental health clinician. I'm only speaking about my own experience and things that I have learned in my own personal therapy setting. And lastly, my channel is geared at adults because I'm an adult and that is just what I personally feel comfortable with, and I do not condone minors participating online in the age regression community or just in online spaces in general. I do not think it's safe, and I know there's nothing I can do about it, but that's just my experience, what makes me feel comfortable, so I want to say it. Also, my pajamas are so cute. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a rough life on them, and there's a bunch of cute dogs. But yeah, okay, I think those are all my disclaimers. Let's get into the video. So, whenever I do Q&As on here or on Instagram, one of the things that I get asked the most is, what do I do when I want to regress and I need to regress, but I can't get myself to relax? How do I regress when I can't relax? And I completely, totally get why this is a struggle for a lot of people, especially right now. Our lives are so hectic, both externally with our jobs and responsibilities, but also internally when it comes to our internal dialogue and how we may navigate our stressors. Plus, when you add in world stress and interpersonal stress into the equation, it can totally feel impossible to really get yourself to relax. However, relaxing is something that your body knows how to do, and you do have the capacity to relax. You've done it before and you will do it again, even when it doesn't feel like that's true. Arguably, I would say one of the most amazing things about harnessing age regression and using it therapeutically is in part how relaxing and simplifying it can be for your body and your mind. And you probably already know this and crave it. And that's why it can be so frustrating when you can't get yourself to be able to relax in order to regress. So now I'm going to share with you all of the things that help me when I get into that state of being frustrated that I can't relax enough to regress. So first, I start by telling myself this: my stress is my body's way of telling me that there is something I need to worry about, but this is unhelpful at this time. However, I know that I have felt relaxed before, and I will feel relaxed again. I ask my brain to allow my body to relax. I ask my brain to allow me to regress. My regression is a beautiful tool. My regression is a beautiful tool that I would like to use right now. Right now, I am safe. Right now, it is safe for me to regress. If this is possible in this moment, that would be amazing. But if it is not possible for me to regress right now or relax right now, that is okay too. And of course, you can amend as needed. I guess mine is kind of wordy, but the idea is to remind your brain and body about what is and isn't true. It is true that you're capable of relaxing. It is true that you are hopefully safe in the given moment and that it is safe for you to relax. And it is true that your body is trying to protect you by feeling stressed, but that is not helpful. And also, when you give yourself a little mantra or a little script like this, something to say, it also helps take some of the pressure off. That's kind of the idea of this, is you want to take the pressure off yourself. The more you pressure yourself to relax or you pressure yourself to be able to regress, the less likely it's going to be that you can effectively get what you want. And that really goes for pressuring yourself about anything. Now, the next thing I do is I make a mental or physical list of all the things that I can still do even if I'm not regressed. And I make a little schedule. I'll say something like, even if I cannot simplify and heal my mind by regressing right now, what I can do is watch a kid's movie that brings me joy and comfort. What I can do is dress one of my dolls. What I can do is hug one of my stuffed animals. I can do other activities that put me in touch with my inner child and that make me feel happy and comfortable. And then list all the things that pertains to that you can do, and then do them, even if you're doing them feeling really stressed. You can also try to do what I call a state change. And this can look however you want. To me, it's basically disrupting the flow of your brain's current stress level. Some of my go-tos are dunking my face in like ice cold water, shaking my hands like this, or like shaking it out like this, sitting down and committing myself to taking 5 deep belly breaths, or listening to a calming song and either saying every lyric in my head or singing it quietly to myself. Switching it up and using an activity like that as a transition can be really helpful, so you're not going right from stress right into trying to force yourself to relax. They can also be metaphorical things, like changing your clothes intentionally while thinking about how you're also changing your state, you're changing into another state, you're changing into another mode, you're transitioning into something else. Or you can also close your blinds and visualize that you're metaphorically closing out your stressful thoughts. And you can also visualize these things, you don't even have to do them physically. And if all else fails and it feels safe and effective to do so, you can also try to get some of those stressful or negative feelings out. Try to do something to release them. Like, one thing that I do is I yell, "This is so frustrating. I am glad that it is temporary." Or punch a pillow, or like take an old marker that doesn't have a lot of like ink left, or like an old crayon or something, and like really forcefully like scribble on a piece of paper. That's a good one. But no matter what you're doing, remind yourself that how you feel is temporary, and that no matter what lies your brain is telling you, your body is capable of relaxing, even if it's hard and even if it's not allowing you to relax in the present moment. And again, at the end of the day, if nothing works and you can't relax, that's okay too, because you will again, and how you're feeling is temporary, even if it's frustrating and even if it sucks. Your brain is capable of helping you in a lot of ways that you probably don't even know. You just have to ask it to do so in the right way. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. I also wanted to touch again on the fact that I'm currently in hypnotherapy school, and hypnotherapy, when I started doing it like as a client, as a patient, it literally saved my life. Very similarly to the way age regression saved my life, and the two are actually quite intertwined in my experience. And I'm currently in school to become a certified hypnotherapist. I'm doing my training right now and like practicing and learning and doing all these things. I'm in class for the next 4 months or so while I continue to get my practice hours and take practice clients. And yeah, I'm also going to be working more on my meditation channel, like my guided meditations. So I can also try to make some content for this specific problem in the form of guided meditations and guided visualizations. So if that is something you'd be interested in, please let me know, because I think as time goes on, like topics like this I can get even more informed on through what I'm learning in school. And I would really love to provide that stuff as a resource for you guys if you would be interested. So if you are, please let me know. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, I'm gonna shout out my Patreon, because if you like my long form content, Patreon is where 90% of my long form content is. And we also have a snail mail club, which is a monthly package full of a lot of goodies like stickers, postcards, temporary tattoos, but it also includes a personalized letter from me and a handmade craft or mental health worksheet. And some of those are often guided meditations too that you read to yourself. So yeah, if you're interested in that, please check it out. There is a limit to how many people can sign up because of like how much money it costs me to make them. So if you do want to sign up, I do recommend doing it sooner rather than later. But yeah, thank you for listening to my ramblings, and I hope this was helpful. And I love you, and I will see you in the next one.